Welcome to this explainer. Let's just jump right in. We are stepping back into the high-stakes, incredibly paranoid world of a 14th century royal banquet. Now, you might picture a medieval feast as this huge, joyous celebration, right? Well, for the royalty and nobility of Europe, every single meal was basically a potential minefield. Picture this. You and I are servants in one of these massive stone halls. I pull you aside right at the kitchen door and whisper, "Listen, the greatest threat to His Majesty tonight, it is not out on some blood-soaked battlefield. It's hidden right inside that golden chalice of sugared wine." See, back in the Middle Ages and the Renaissance, the absolute most common and definitely the quietest way to take out a rival was with white arsenic. It looked exactly like powdered sugar. It was completely tasteless. It was literally the perfect invisible assassin right at the dinner table. Section 1. The Credentarius and the Shark. So, how did a king actually survive dinner? They relied heavily on the Credentarius. This was a super trusted household official. Sometimes they called him a pregustator, and his entire job was to ceremonially taste the food and drink before it ever even got close to the high table. Can you imagine the immense daily pressure of that job? And they didn't just taste the food hidden away in the kitchen. No, they did it in full view of all the banquet guests. It was basically a theatrical performance, giving everyone visual proof that the host hadn't, spiked the roast boar. To guarantee absolute safety, these tasters followed incredibly strict protocols. The tasting happened right on special side tables, which were called credences. After the credentarius took a brave bite, they might toss a scrap to these sacrificial banquet dogs that were just waiting nearby. We even see this captured in 15th century paintings. But if they wanted absolute 100% certainty, they moved to step 3, which involved dipping a highly prized stone directly into the king's beverage. Now you're probably wondering, what exactly were those prize stones? Well, they were known as glossopetra, or genuine Maltese tongues. In reality, they were just fossilized teeth from extinct giant sharks, exported by the thousands from the rocks of Malta. But back then, they were believed to be these powerful, magical amulets. There was this bizarre, totally widespread superstition that if you brought one of these teeth near poison, it would literally sweat profusely, or even completely change color. This intense reliance on these fossil teeth actually led to the creation of the Natternsunzigen credence, or adder's tongue tree. These were these incredibly elaborate tree-like artifacts placed right on the credence tables as a secondary safeguard. If you look at these pieces in museums today, you'll see these stunning red coral trees or silver-gilt crucifixes draped with suspended fossil shark teeth. They look like beautiful religious centerpieces, but make no mistake, these were hardcore paranoid survival tools designed to neutralize toxins before the king took a single sip. Section 2. Debunking the poison clink myth. Okay, we have all heard this one, right? The famous internet myth that claims our modern tradition of clinking glasses actually started in these paranoid medieval times. The story goes that by slamming your tankards together really hard, your drink would slosh and spill into your would-be assassin's cup. So, obviously, if they poisoned you, they'd wind up poisoning themselves. It sounds like a fantastic movie scene, but let's put our critical thinking hats on for just a second here. The really crucial point is that the logistics of this poison spill theory are just completely absurd. First off, if you smash 2 full cups together, the liquid doesn't just neatly swap cups. It spills all over the floor. Second, even if a highly diluted drop of poison did magically transfer over, it probably wouldn't be fatal anyway. But here is the real kicker. Historians are quick to point out that individual glasses weren't even common back then. People drank from shared communal vessels. If you were actually worried about poison, you relied on your credentarius, the dogs, and those trusty fossil shark teeth, not spilling your drink. So instead of being this medieval defensive tactic, the true origin of toasting actually goes much, much further back, all the way to ancient sacrificial libations. The ancient Greeks and Romans would pour out a small portion of their shared wine directly onto the floor. It was an offering to the gods, and it was often accompanied by a prayer for good health. So the whole ritual was really about sacrifice and building community from a shared vessel. It was definitely not a paranoid attempt to catch a murderer red-handed. Section 3. Spirits, Senses, and Sound. Now, there is this older European folk belief that demons and evil spirits literally lurked inside alcohol, and they thought that creating a loud, bell-like noise by striking vessels together would scare those spirits away. But the modern, delicate clink that we know today, That really took off in the 17th century, and it was all thanks to some incredible progress made by Venetian glassmakers. They finally popularized individual drinking glasses, which really shifted us away from those communal bowls of the past. See, the Venetians began adding lead oxide to their materials, and that created lead crystal. Suddenly, glasses didn't just hold your wine, they made beautiful music. When struck, these British and Irish wine glasses produced these incredibly rich, resonant bell notes of F and G sharp. And the physics behind this are absolutely fascinating. When you clink two similar crystal glasses together and keep them close, their slightly different resonant frequencies actually produce what's called an acoustic beat. It's this periodic, pulsing variation in the sound volume that is just wonderfully pleasing to the ear. And this acoustic evolution actually aligns perfectly with a very popular scholarly theory proposed by the historian Margaret Besser. Think about it. Drinking wine naturally engages 4 of our 5 senses already. You have the sight of that rich color, the smell of the bouquet, the physical touch of the cool glass, and of course, the taste of the liquid. Clinking simply adds the 5th sense, sound. It completes the sensory harmony of drinking, beautifully replacing that ancient, stressful need for physical safety with a really elevated aesthetic experience. Section 4. The etiquette of the toast. The linguistic evolution of this custom is just fantastic. Back in the 13th century, the Anglo-French word cheer basically meant a glad face or happy expression, and that eventually evolved into our modern word cheers. But the actual word toast, that has an incredibly literal origin. In the 17th century, it was a totally common practice to place a piece of spiced, scorched bread, literally actual toast, straight into a communal wine bowl. It soaked up the acidity and basically just improved the flavor of really bad wine. So over time, drinking to someone's health became completely synonymous with that prized piece of bread floating around in the bowl. Today, the etiquette of clinking has actually diverged pretty dramatically across different cultures. In Russian culture, vigorously clinking your glasses is just standard, totally expected behavior. But in a lot of Western European cultures, it's approached with a bit more caution, mostly because people are really afraid of shattering their expensive crystal. And in Japanese culture, where the traditional toast is kanpai, the act of physically clinking glasses is largely rejected, and honestly, it can even be considered quite rude. So if you are clinking today, modern table manners generally suggest that you just observe the host first. If they don't clink because they want to preserve their glassware, you shouldn't either. But if you do clink, do it carefully. And whatever you do, you must maintain eye contact. Some old European folk superstitions playfully warned that breaking eye contact during a clink brings 7 years of bad luck. Ultimately, though, the act of bringing separate glasses back together is highly symbolic. It briefly reunites the wine, which serves as a great reminder of those ancient days when we all drank from the exact same communal vessel. What an incredible journey this has been. We have traced this custom all the way from the insanely paranoid courts of medieval Europe, where terrified kings relied on food tasters and fossilized shark teeth just to survive a meal, straight through to the invention of singing lead crystal. We've watched the toast evolve from a defensive, totally fear-based ritual of survival into a truly beautiful, multi-sensory expression of friendship and community. It really makes you look at a simple dinner party a little differently, doesn't it? So I want to leave you with this thought. The next time you raise a glass and touch it to a friend's, will you hear the joyful, ringing harmony of celebration? Or just maybe will you hear the faint, distant echo of a medieval royal checking their drink for arsenic? Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and hey, cheers to your health!